Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad, and a very warm welcome to Thursday's edition of the DC Universe Daily. On today's show, James Gunn continues to tease his secret DC project. He continues to tease Kingdom Come. Wow. And the actress who's called Pom, I don't know her surname, who's in Guardians. Also, apparently, he's always had plans for her to join DC. So that's very, very interesting. Now, over to the DCEU, if you've been to the convention or if you've seen the picture of a poster of Henry Cavill's Superman, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam, and Robert Pattinson's Batman is also in this picture, as is Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman. But where's Batfleck? He's not there. They're promoting a movie called The Flash at this South American convention. DC and WBR, as well as the other films coming out next year, apart from Blue Beetle. So, Batfleck was supposed to be in the Flash movie, but is he still in the Flash movie? Could Robert Pattinson be introduced as the new DC Batman in the Flash movie? The Flash has changed its logo a little bit as well. So as I say, there's a lot of things going on. Does this poster, by the way, give the biggest hint that Robert Pattinson is going to be the main Batman? I think there's a chance. I don't know how big a chance there is, but I'm not going to ignore it. And just don't tell Boba Talks. We all know the YouTuber Boba Talks is, he loves his Batman. He loves Matt Reeves, the Batman. Doesn't really want, Rob's Batman joining the new DC universe. But unfortunately, my son, it's not up to you. And there is a possibility of that very thing that you don't want happening. Now, here's the thing. I'm okay with this because I don't die on any hills. That's the beautiful thing about me. I'm open to change. I'm open to evolution. But also, you know me, and you know what I think about these constant James Gunn teases without any context, because what they're doing is confusing fans. So let's look at what he was teasing yesterday. Number one, he continues to talk about his secret project. So what is James Gunn's secret project? Well, listen. At the end of the day, when someone talks about a secret project, it's exciting. He wants us to be excited about, his role at DC. And he's stated that he's going to continue to write and direct projects. Hooray, because he's a really good writer-director. So is this a cinematic project? I don't think so. After the Suicide Squad bombed, he started talking about how he enjoys doing streaming and the freedom that provides him. I think he's become a little bit, cinema theatrical system shy ever since that flop. I think that flop shook him to his core. Now, it wasn't his fault that the Suicide Squad flopped. It's a very good movie. And I think without the day and date of the pandemic, it would have done a lot better. I'm just not sure how much better it would have done. Because that was an interesting stage of the pandemic. We thought we were getting out of it. We were dragged back into it. So it was an interesting time. But it also shows that James Gunn isn't kind of cinema proof. That everything he does isn't just going to succeed because he's James Gunn. James Gunn has a great aura about him, a great personality. He's a very friendly, interactive guy. But he isn't bulletproof. And the truth is, he made a really good DC movie that failed theatrically. Now, that was a shock to me because I was stupidly predicting a huge success on this very channel. I predicted $1 billion. I haven't deleted those videos or those live videos because I don't do that. I'm very comfortable with being wrong about stuff, and I think we were all wrong about the financial earning potential of that film. But he's a very clever man. He's a very talented writer-director. He may even be a better writer than director, in my opinion. He is a good director, by the way. But I think his talent is in creating stories, forming stories. I think if you look at the arc, the Peacemaker arc, through, the Suicide Squad movie and to the Peacemaker series, and how he makes us think that Peacemaker's a douche and then we see his background. I think that's brilliant. And as a writer, you've really got to have faith in what you're doing to do that, because basically he leaves Peacemaker in a hospital bed. And when you find out he's the one still alive and not Rick Flag, it's actually devastating. He's the last one I wanted to stay alive. Now, I want to see more and more of Peacemaker. The nuance of that character and the way it's been written and performed by John Cena, by the way. James Gunn and John Cena have actually made a brilliant team. So James Gunn's a very talented guy. So I believe his secret project is on HBO Max, but also not all their streaming stuff will remain on HBO Max, because controller of HBO Max, Casey Bloys, revealed yesterday they're about to do a really big deal with Amazon Prime streaming service for DC animated content. Now, Casey said the first port of call for DC will be HBO Max, but they are going to sell some stuff off, because we know Warner need all the money they can raise, and you know, DC is their biggest IP. I'm okay with this, by the way. First of all, I don't have access to HBO Max. Now, I have access to Amazon Prime, but I can only watch the stuff I buy on there. I can't actually watch stuff that's on Prime Video, because since Brexit, this has stung me with many streaming services, and this is one of the many reasons I hate Brexit. Let's not talk politics, let's keep it DC. So my preference would always be for things to land on Netflix, because Netflix is available here in Cyprus. It's the only streaming service I can legally watch here in Cyprus. But clearly, Netflix are not interested in being the highest bidders, and that's going to be a problem for me getting access. But I will find a way to get access. I have to, because I'm a DC fan, and I talk about this shit on my channel. So it's very important. So that's another bit of news. So lots of pieces of news. Now, let's talk about the worst source of DC news, which is the Flash movie news. The Flash movie news continues to insist that there haven't been big changes to the Flash movie. Now, they keep on saying this because they're biased towards Ezra Miller and the old DCEU and Walter Hamada. In fact, they wanted Walter Hamada to remain as DC president, DC Films president. Interesting, right? I also had an argument with them several months ago where they were telling me Ezra Miller was innocent. And I actually do believe that the other account, Home of DCU, is also them as well, or they've got some affiliation and connections to that account as well. So what I'm saying to you as fellow DC fans and friends, be careful who you trust. Yes, they're saying there haven't been significant changes to the Flash movie. Now, if this is true, this kind of proves that the Flash movie doesn't really matter within the future. But Kingdom Come is an interesting thing, because you could actually use Kingdom Come to have the DCEU characters and new versions of these characters, as we've discussed before. So I think they could use the Flash movie to kind of create this new universe. I don't know. I think all this is really exciting. I'm happy that James Gunn's there. I'm disappointed that he keeps on teasing things out of context. I understand. As a business person, it's exciting to tease stuff. As a fan, it's exciting to get these teases. My concern is that people are going to begin to get frustrated and confused, because, you know, they've been there several weeks, and I think there comes to a certain point, as I said many times before, where you need to stop these teases, and literally they're the same teases. But Kingdom Come Superman is an excellent idea. Kingdom Come DC is an excellent idea. And he's literally showing us a picture, that famous picture of Kingdom Come DC, and it looks stunning. I would support that. That will be exciting, but how do they execute this? As I always say on this channel, execution is very, very important. So he's teasing Kingdom Come. He's teasing his secret DC project. I still haven't hazarded a guess in what that is. Listen, I mean, lots of people believe he's doing Checkmate. I believe the Amanda Waller show is checkmate. I don't believe there is an Amanda Waller show. I believe it's checkmate. I think it's the secret project. Maybe. But it could be Deathstroke. Deathstroke could be his secret project. I think, listen, while he's being the co-chair of DC Studios, he's also going to continue to run his Suicide Squad universe. And I don't believe he's going to work with, outside of that parameter. But I could be wrong. Because maybe he's going to do the Kingdom Come movie. Maybe he's going to write and direct it. But here's another question for you. If you're co-chair of DC Studios and you write and direct a movie that's a flop, that doesn't really put you in a good position, does it? So I would imagine he'd be better off, and he knows this as an intelligent person, not to write and direct cinematic projects. If somebody else does them and they flop, they can get rid of that person quite easily. Do you get what I'm saying? But James Gunn, as the co-chair of DC Studios, if he was involved with a cinematic flop, this would put James in a very uncomfortable position. I'm not claiming his stuff would flop. I'm not saying I want his stuff to flop. I'm being very, very practical about this situation. So I kind of suspect that he won't be involved with cinematic projects. Again, I could be wrong. Being wrong is good. Being wrong is okay. It makes you a flawed person, and a human being. And that's brilliant. But yeah, I mean, going back to that point about Robert Pattinson being within that poster, I think that tells you everything you need to know, because they could have easily had Batfleck in that picture, because Batfleck has shot scenes for the Flash movie. I've seen those scenes. They're glorious. So are they keeping that? Are they getting rid of Affleck from the movie? I doubt it. If the Flash movie or the Flash film news is right and they haven't made significant changes to that movie, that means Batfleck is still there. Everything that we know to be there is going to remain there. And obviously, the age-old question, what connections does the DCEU have with the DC universe? And, this is a question that's going to continue as long as James Gunn keeps on giving teases without context. I'm starting to think there could be some kind of little connection between the old franchise and the new franchise, but for sure, Robert Pattinson being part of that poster gives you the biggest clue ever that he's going to be DC Universe's brand new Batman. Now, don't forget, now this is an interesting one because, yeah, that's a clue about him being involved as Batman in the future. It could be, I mean, let's be honest about this. This is a South American, comic book convention. DC have taken movies to promote this. So think about this. So you've got Shazam! Fury of the Gods being promoted. You've got the Flash movie being promoted, and you've got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. They're the three movies there. So why have you got a picture of Robert Pattinson? Please don't tell me it's just there for the hell of it. And this is another marketing blunder by WB, because you're giving people a false impression of what's going on. But obviously, it could have nothing to do with anything, and Robert Pattinson may not be part of DCU, and they may still be working on a separate DC Universe Batman. Who knows? These things kind of are going to be very confusing and out of context until we know more, because these are questions that we've been asking for such a long time. I want to do these videos and have answers for you. Unfortunately, we don't have answers for you right now. And the DCEU could end up being a defunct franchise and the DC Universe a brand new franchise. And at this stage, I don't know. But I do know that I'm excited for what James Gunn and Peter Safran have got planned, because if you're telling me you're doing Kingdom Come, that's a very exciting story that I want to see on the big screen, that I want to see in cinemas, streaming and on animation, and play the fuck out of in games. It looks like Kingdom Come is the one story they'll be focusing on in the new DC universe. And if it is Kingdom Come, and it is looking like it is going to be Kingdom Come, I couldn't be more excited. This has been Thursday's edition of the DC Universe Daily here on Movies TV Mad. With me, Mick, your host with the most. Just ask your girlfriends and your wives. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss this beautiful perfection. And I'll see you again in the next video. Until I see you again, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen.